Yo, what's good, guys? Um, I want to talk about how. Thank you, Baron Fish Film, for liking my photo, favoriting my photo on Twitter. Shout out, y'all. Yes, y'all. Nah. Alright. Yo, I want to talk about real fast how this whole situation, these situations that I'm seeing at the Trump rallies. You know, I just saw a video where a white man in a cowboy hat just punches a black man in the face, and what happens afterwards? The black man just he gets like tackled practically by the security, as if like he was the reason. As if he was the one that punched somebody. Look, man, I hate to seem unenthused or kind of you know not as energetic and just happy, but when it comes to these situations, yo, I'm just not. I'm not. Now look, I believe that we're better than this. I believe that what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I keep saying this, and it's just, yo, this is driving me crazy. What, like, this is 2016 in America, yo. This is 2016 in America, and all this racism and sexism and discrimination, it's surfacing, and we're starting to see it, and it's not pretty. It's not fucking pretty, man. I really just want to say that this saddens me. It really does, because we're separate. We're acting as if we're separated when we're not. We're just not. We're ignorant, we're blind, and we're scared. That's the truth, right? Say what you want, but this is the truth. I'm just saying it how it is, and that's real, and you can appreciate that. You might not like it, but you'll respect it. And what's important is that someone somewhere does say these things, because the more we hide them and the more we run away from what's happening in our country and in our communities and in our countries. I said that? I'm bugging. Disorientated, because all this shit, man. All this racism and hate. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. It's not supposed to be like this. We really are better than this. We're just confused. We're just confused and distracted, and we're just, our focus is not on point. And it's because of how we're living society, how the societal structure of our system and our foundations and our corporations we're focused on the wrong things when what's really important, what I'm trying to say is what's really important is just like what feeds our souls and not our egos. I know I keep saying this and you might not know what I'm talking about particularly when I talk about the ego, but what I mean is like Gucci belts and Louis bags and like nice cars. These are fresh, don't get me wrong. Like I want a nice ass car one day. And maybe one day I have like a Louis belt or something, but we have to prioritize. This is what I'm really trying to say, and this is what we really need to open up our ears and look at, and open up our eyes and really pay attention to, is we have to prioritize. We can't be focused more on these materialistic things as opposed to what opens up our hearts and what our hearts call to, and what feeds our souls. Because what's more important is each other, yo. And I know that sounds, for some reason, it's not even supposed to be like this, but for some reason, this sounds corny to a lot of people. And I'm gonna be straight up, I get that, because I've been in the mentality where I've heard people talk about things like this, and I've been like, that's corny. I get that shit. But I'm someone who just so happened to have risen above bullshit. And I'm just here to tell you that if I'm someone who could have been like you and just realized what was good, you can be the same. You could do the same. You could really listen to me, because I know not a lot of us just are not happy. Not entirely. Not the way we're supposed to be. Let me back up. What I'm seeing going on is outrageous. It's despicable. It's disgusting. It's pitiful. It's gut-wrenching. It's horrific. It's vindictive. And we're better than this. And if we don't make a change, we're just going to continue going downhill. And I just want to say that no one's perfect, and we all make mistakes, and we all struggle, and we all have a shadow and a dark side. But despite that, there can still always be love. There can still always be love. Sorry, I'm like, shit is still trying to get used to recording on this weird ass tablet. like it's delayed, so when I look at myself in the tablet too, it's like, it's weird. Anyways, let me just say this. Yo, I have way too much like consciousness for my own good. I was thinking about this earlier. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. But sorry, my bad. What I'm trying to say is, let's put it this way, because I'm talking to the racists too. I'm not gonna label you as that, but I'm talking to the people that are racist as well. People who struggle in the ways that in which I'm talking about, aside from being attached to the ego. Well, that's part of racism. When you're racist, that's an egoic struggle. But I'm not going to get into all that, because I'm not trying to like bug you the fuck out, because I know a lot of us are not going to just get that. And so we need to take shit one step at a time. What I will say is, I'm talking to the people who are not only obsessed with materialistic things, but people who have issues amongst one another, like jealousy or racist and or sexist or discriminative, whatever it may be. I'm talking to you too. Let me propose this. Let me propose this. Let's agree to disagree. First and foremost. Not all of us are going to agree that racism is not the answer. That's a fact. A lot of us have grown up and have been conditioned in such a way where we truly believe in things like racism. Let's agree to disagree. First and foremost, that's the only way we can really. We have to just stop hiding and shit. Let's agree to disagree. That's the first step towards being able to come to a reconcile, to being able to work out our differences. Let's admit to our shit, but let's not judge each other and hate each other for that. Just as I wouldn't want someone who's racist to hate a black man or a Chinese man or a white man or whatever, I wouldn't want someone who's not racist to hate someone who's racist, because at the very end of the day, hate is hate, and that's not the answer. So let's agree to disagree, but being able to keep the love, right? That's my proposal. Let me say this. Can we all, whether we're racist or not, agree that if there's one thing that none of us want, none of us, whether we're racist, whether we're jealous people, whether we're people who have issues with whatever, being attached to things and people, cars, money, clothes, feelings, emotions, thoughts, whatever. No matter who we are or what we're about or what we believe in, can we all agree that none of us want to see our countries and our planet even go to ruin? Can we really fucking, all bullshit aside, all beliefs and thoughts and feelings aside, in our hearts, can we all agree that none of us want to see this country, this planet of ours become destroyed? Can we agree that we don't want each other to be destroyed? Whether you want this person or that colored person or this kind of person or that thing to be destroyed, that's one thing. But can we agree that in general we don't want to see destruction? Because destruction is destruction. You wanting a certain type of person or a certain type of thing to be destroyed is only going to lead, and really hear me out here, is only going to lead to the things that we don't want to be destroyed, because destruction is destruction. can we really, like, really be aware of that? Like, and in knowing that, can we at least try to move a little bit more towards what won't destroy us and our planet and our loved ones? Because really, none of us want that. This is a fact. Whether we're caught up in our emotions, or whether we're disillusioned by our thoughts, or whether we're conditioned mentally in certain ways or not, in our hearts, none of us truly want that. And that is a fact. And I know that you feel the same way. You do. There's nothing you can say. You do. And so what I'm trying to say is, despite our differences and despite our beliefs and our feelings, which have a tendency in this difficult world and in this difficult society to be intensely aroused, so much so that we become blinded and caught up in them. But irregardless of that, of getting caught up in our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions, we still want peace and freedom. Right? Yeah. And we're unfocused. But that doesn't make you a bad person. I love you. And I mean that. And I accept you unconditionally. And I respect you as a human being. Whether you're a racist, whether you're egoic or whatever, the fact remains that we just want peace, right? We just want to be able to come to a place, all of us, to where we can just breathe and not just be just caught up in bullshit and hate. Some of us are so used to just being caught up in hate that it's like it's all we know. Anyone who tries to tell us something otherwise, it only makes us even more hateful. Like right now, I'm willing to bet that there are people that are so caught up in their thoughts and emotions that they're just like, no, fuck that, I disagree, this, that, and the third. And I feel you. I fucking feel you. I do. But that's all it is. And I want you to be able to take a step back from yourself and from your thoughts and from your emotions and your beliefs, to realize that, to see it, even if it's just a glimpse, to just really be able to look at that and be like, maybe I can chill, even if just for a moment, to realize that all I want is peace. And we're so conditioned in different ways with our beliefs because of our childhood or our teenage years or our early adult years, even whatever, you know? And we're so caught up in our feelings. Our feelings can be so strong, and believe me when I tell you, I'll relate with you. Believe me when I tell you, some of our feelings are so strong and powerful and intense that we don't even know we're caught up in our feelings. We're just blinded in a trance, especially when it's in combination to conditioned beliefs and ideologies where we don't know. We don't even know what's happening. All we know is to act in certain negative ways. But we can overcome this. I truly believe in my heart and soul. I believe we can overcome these things. I do. And that's because I'm somebody who has been through darkness and flames that you could never fucking imagine. 22 years. And I've risen. I've been a person who's hurt others badly. I've been a person who didn't give a fuck. I've been a person who, to some degree or another, has had beliefs where, like, racist. I've been caught up in racism, kind of, as a little kid, growing up in around seeing racist things. I'll admit that, as hard as it is. Like, I wasn't ever severely racist, but what I'm trying to just say is, I've risen above these things. If I can do it, I promise you can do it. I was blessed enough to do it because I had people who prayed for me, people who loved me, despite all the bullshit I had to go through. I was inspired and motivated by positive people who cared. Michael Jackson, Eminem was an inspiration. You know, we all inspire each other in some shape or form, whether we're politicians, whether we're artists, whether it's your mom or your whatever. We're all blessed in some shape or form. Which allows us to overcome certain things. And a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us have never had that. And that's what might make you different from me. And what I'm trying to say is, if you never had that person to... I'm a little distracted, sorry. If you never had that person who has been with you, or in some shape or form, even if it was as an artist to motivate you, or a politician, or if you never had that mom or your dad, I can be that person. In some form. That's my goal, is to be able to bring you to a place to let you know that people do care, even when you don't think they do. Because I've been in the place, and I'll say this like I've spoken about my other experiences. I've been in a place where I felt no one cared. Fucking believe me. And I've risen above that. It's all mind. But people do care. I care. If no one else cares. And anyways, I just want to say that I'm a little distracted. I'm sorry. I have a little bit of a hard time expressing myself because people are cruel, but guess what? I can't be mad at you for being cruel, because I've been cruel. And this all relates back to what I'm saying is, if I'm someone who could have been in all different fucked up kinds of ways and have grown up with fucked up conditioning and has been a person who's been deeply caught up in their emotions and their thoughts and their fixed ideologies, just like you, whether you're a racist, whether you're someone who has been attached to wanting cars and clothes. I've been there. If I'm someone who has experienced these things and has been able to rise, I'm telling you, so can you. I was someone who, I was someone who you couldn't tell shit, and that might be you. But what I'm trying to say is, you have it in you, just like I had it in me. I guess I was blessed enough to have had people, whether they were artists or certain special people, who come in and out of your life and you never see them again, to have given me that inspiration. Maybe you don't have that, and that's what I'm doing here. Is I'm giving you that. What I've been given, I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give to the world, because I've dealt with petty shit. I've fought you. I fought me. And when I realized 22 years of growing up having fought constantly, is that all of these fights, we're just fighting ourselves. As that might not fully click, and this again will relate to the conditioning and being caught up in emotions and thoughts and fixed ideologies, but you'll get there, I promise, because I got here, and I'm still going. I'm not done. I'm not even close to being done, but I've risen in ways in which I never thought I could. Well, I always believed, but the reality is just so much greater. Anyways, if I can rise and overcome these things and realize that it's just me that I'm fighting, and you, and him and her, you can get to that place too, where true freedom lies. Whether this politician or that politician or this president or that president or this teacher or that teacher will tell you or not, that's where it all relates to. And we need to really, all of us, we need to move closer to that truth, so that we can achieve the real freedom and happiness that we seek. And I'm not gonna just jump in and say, let's do it, let's go right away, yeah, come on. No. That's how chaos happens. My proposal is, let's take it one step at a time and just move a little bit closer and closer towards love with each passing moment and day. Can we at least do that, despite our differences? That's my proposal. Climate change is happening. We need to take better care of our planet. Yo, the shit is getting hotter. It's not good. And there's nothing to be scared of, because at the end of the day, fear gets us nowhere. And that's a hard thing to grasp for a lot of people. But I'll go into that later, some other time. But all fear aside, whether you fear or not, it's what I really just want to say is, It's a matter of love, knowing what we need to do, caring, and just stepping up in some shape or form. And really come to terms with the fact that even little things we do make huge fucking impacts. You simply sharing something like climate change on Facebook, I applaud you, because that's a huge step, whether you realize it or not. And whether people like the fact that you do that or not, whether people make fun of you, or whether people say this or that, or whether you think this or that, the action in itself is great. And imagine what could happen when every single person on this planet does a little thing like that. Bada boom, bada bang. You feel me though? No, for real. That's how it works. And we're just like, because we're just so unfocused. But yo, let's be a little more responsible. Just a little bit more responsible. Can we be a little bit more responsible? Because we don't want to wait around for bullshit to hit us and our planet. All I'm saying is, what I see is, we're moving towards a place where we don't want to be. Let's just, in the name of love, just let's do a little bit, even if just a little bit, to get the fuck out of that. Each and every one of us, individually, is in that little rut where we feel like we don't hold power, we're lazy, we don't want to do this and that because no one else is doing this and that, and it's like we're just confused looking at other people. Oh, well, they're not doing it, let me not do it. But you doing that is, you're essentially spreading a wildfire. That's what you really need to understand, or at least try to understand. Please, just let's all be a little more responsible. And I'll start with me. I'll share something right after this to let you know that whether you see it or not, that is having impact. And if I can be someone to do that, why can't you? And I know other people are with me on this. So it's just a matter of seeing that change is happening. And we just have to be a little more aware of that and be a little more responsible and just say, alright, fuck it. Because that's probably how you'll say it, right? But yeah. That's all I wanted to say. I believe. I believe. I believe in you. I believe in me. As motherfucking corny as that sounds. Nah. But for real though. Yo, we in this thing together. And this is for real. This is real. This is lyrical hot steel. What the fuck does it do? Let's rise. Oh, what is he talking about? Look. Don't be blinded by your judgments. Nah. I know, a lot of you are gonna be blinded by your judgments, even though I said that. A lot of you are looking at me and just saying, what the fuck? And you're just gonna close this shit and go somewhere. I guarantee it. But yo, at least be aware that I'm conscious enough to see that shit and be like, oh, close it. Like, I get you. That's what I'm trying to fucking say, is like, I feel you, I get you. Like, I actually fucking do. But we gotta just take a deep ass breath and just say, there's something that I might not get that I at least have to make a little bit of an effort to, in the name of love. Alright? No? Well, you'll get there. I promise you. I promise you. Because I believe in you. And I mean that shit. So, with that shit being said, let's move towards peace and freedom and love and beyond. Despite our differences, despite who we hate and other people, or despite what we're conditioned and how we feel, how we're this and that. And away from destruction. Make a little bit of an effort. At least know that I want you to know that I want you to know that there's someone out there, whether you're filled with hate or not, there's someone out there that loves and accepts you unconditionally. And that's me. And there are many more that you just might not be seeing and hearing. But, yeah. And I just want to give you power and uplift you. This shit is crazy. Hearing myself say this shit, like, this shit's crazy to me. Like, who I've realized that I am, like, caring about this. It's pretty dope, but it's just real shit at the end of the day. My experiences, my struggles, bullshit. Anyways, I care. I love you. And accept you unconditionally. And we can move towards a place of freedom and beyond. So let's do it. Let's rise. In the name of love. Let's make change. So we can all live in a better world. That's my proposal. So let's do it. And I want you to see something really fast. Kind of a shitty view. I was trying to show you this. What I just showed you was our universe. You are one with the universe. The universe is within you. You're an expression of the universe, and the universe is an expression of you. You have infinite power. So let's move toward that power. All of us. In the name of love. And this is a long ass video. My bad. I don't know how. If you watch this whole shit, like, like, damn. But alright. I don't know what to fucking say, man. But what I'm gonna end this by saying, I believe. One love. I believe. I do.